What's up, guys? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids on a windy New Hampshire day. So just heads up, you'll have a little wind in the background here. Anyhow, I got a new knife from WE Knives. Let's check it out. So you're gonna get the little pouch that the knife comes in. You get a sticker. Pretty sure that's a sticker as well. And on the back, they ask for your feedback about their knives. You get your instructions / warranty information, and you get a cleaning cloth. Had to switch the camera so you can get some better light on the knife, which is the WE Banter with the green canvas micarta. That is slick. So I'm gonna roll in the information down here on the bottom of the screen as far as blade length, weight, handle material, all that type of stuff. Obviously I told you it's green micarta. The Banter, if you're not familiar with it, is designed by Ben from knafs.com, KNAFS.com.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Partying, yeah! That's all I remember, Tim.
Good buddy of mine, and he designed this knife because he's like, I want a knife that works for me in the way I want a knife to work. So it's super basic and really good. It's a solid knife. I don't know if you can see there, but S35VN for your steel right there. It's got a black blade there, and then obviously, like I said, the green micarta. For him, he's talking about the standard. What he thinks about for an EDC knife is, can I cut apples with it? He is the chief apple cutter in his house, and he doesn't want a knife that's massive, that's overkill. He doesn't want a tiny little knife. He wants something right in between. So that's why he designed this knife. Very blocky, very chunky, neutral handle. Overall, I've used the other, I think it's a G10 handle with the blue G10 handle, and then like just regular steel blade. What's the word I'm looking for? Satin finish. There it is. This one's got a little bit more flavor to it, you know, something a little different. But I think it's a great knife. I think it's exactly what he designed it to be. Like basic, functional, does the job. You can carve with it. You can cut apples with it. You can cut, you know, bagels with it. You can use it for a wide variety of purposes. It's not a survival knife, and it's not a pointless little, you know, keychain blade that you can barely cut anything with other than a envelope open. So there's a look at the knife, the WIUG, what is up, guys, on the back there. Thumb studs to open it. Deployment is solid, like that. Show you the lockup right there. See that. Pocket clip nice and deep. When you have a pocket clip that rides up higher than the end of your blade or end of your handle, I think that's great. So it's gonna ride nice and deep. You can go either right hand or left hand carry for that guy. Hole for your lanyard if you want to put a lanyard on it. There's the WE logo right there, which is cool. And I've got some rope and some other things here, so let's just show you what it looks like in use. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this one or the original one more as far as the blue and the satin finish versus black and the green. I think this one's gonna be more of a fan favorite for me. So let's test it out and show you what it looks like in use. Some webbing for you. No problem. Same webbing tripled over. No problem. All right, same webbing 5 deep here. No problem. Got a little bit of rope here. Piece of cake. There's 3. I will tell you, this thing comes really sharp. Let's see if I can do 5. Part of the challenge is your length of pull for this one, just because it's not a super long blade, but there's 5. Let's see if we can do this here. Oh, I did 4 and started to get the 5th. Boom, there's 5. So 4 easy, 5 is a little bit challenging just because of the length of the blade. Could probably do it. Let me try one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put them all side by side here. And then really got to press down on it. Yep. Ripped a little bit that last one, but still does the job. Yes, as you can see, carves just fine. All right, I hopped into my truck because it's so windy out there, and there's a plow going by or something that's grading the road. So anyhow, let's have a moment of honesty about knife reviews. I do think it's important when you review a knife, you do some of those basic tests, carve some wood, you know, cut some cordage, maybe cut through some cardboard, something like that. Beyond that, if you're using a knife in a survival situation or an outdoor situation, can it chop? Can it do some of those other outdoor tasks? Again, depending on the size, how big it is. It doesn't tell you a whole lot other than it does what a knife should do, I think, in that situation. And it tells you, is the knife comfortable when you actually put it in hand? You can get a cheap knife that you pick up at Walmart, and it can probably do the same thing that most other pocket knives can do. The question is, like, when you test it, do you go like, man, that's really uncomfortable in my hand, or man, the knife is like super dull after a couple uses, or the pivot wasn't put well together and so it's falling apart, and so now I'm like, man, that was a waste of $10 to pick that knife up at Walmart. So to some degree, you're like, does it pass the basics of a knife, of what a knife is? It's almost like, if you're going to become a lawyer, you gotta go through the bar exam. That's it. That doesn't make you a great lawyer. It makes you a lawyer, right? To some degree, right? So doing those basic tests says, yeah, it's a knife you could carry as an EDC knife. Now, the question is, does it work for you? Is it in your budget? What do you need from a knife, right? I have a separate video I made based on the Benchmade Osborne. And I just said there's like a bunch of questions to ask about everyday carry knives when you're purchasing one, when you're trying to decide on which one to buy. This knife from we and from Ben over at nafs.com, it passes all the tests. And for me, it goes another level because it's a good steel. I'm not going to have to sharpen it all the time. I don't mind, cleaning up my knives, honing the edge a little bit, but I don't have to sharpen it all the time. I like the overall look and design. I love a neutral handle. That thing is just blocky. It's just chunky. So you grab it, you're not like, there's not tons of contours and weird angles and stuff. So that works for me. I like what we is doing as a knife designing company, a knife production company. I like what Ben is doing, right? So that ticks a lot of boxes for me, that it's not just a knife that, yeah, I can use. It's fine. It does the job, but like it takes it to another level for me. So this knife for me, definitely a win. I liked the original one. I like this new one. I think there's just a lot of good in this knife. I like supporting Ben in particular and what he's doing, because he's doing some creative stuff with just knife design in the knife world, and I like that he's a friend of mine, so I want to support what he's doing. So I would encourage you to pick up one of these knives if it ticks some of those boxes for you. I can also tell you confidently that if you looked at this knife and said, I need a longer blade by the nature of how I'm using a pocket knife or whatever, Ben would be probably the first guy to go, yeah, don't buy mine, buy something else. That's just him. Like he's very clear. He's like, I don't like that knife design. I do like this knife design. I don't think my knife design is the best one out there. It's a really good one for me, and I hope for other people. But if you need a different type, he'd be one of the first people to be like, yeah, don't buy this, buy something else. I do think that we has stepped onto the market in the last handful of years and really been like, we're going to lean into this. We're going to produce knives. We're going to be creative. We're going to get cool knife designers. We're going to get neat ideas. And I think they're doing a good job with that. They were so expensive, I think, for a lot of people, it was out of their price range, so that they came up with the Civivi line, which is also a nice line, more budget friendly. But again, good solid knives there. Nitro V is a solid steel that those guys are using that I do like a lot. The Elementum, is that the one I'm thinking of? There's another one that became very popular. I think it starts with an M. I can't remember right now, but a lot of their knives have become popular as well. So all that to say, I like this knife. I like the look. I think I'm going to like this one as far as carrying it even more than the original, because I do like the Canvas Micarta. But overall, it's a win for me. Let's hear your thoughts on this knife. What do you like about it? What would you change? Give a shout out to Ben in the comments. Let him know your thoughts on this knife. And yeah, so cool EDC knife. You're going to see it in my rotation. And thanks for checking out the video. Let's get the conversation started in the comment section now. All right, thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.